So Dave Allen loses to Hrgovic, and it was a dominant performance. I was hoping that Dave could pull off the upset, but there are levels to boxing. Dave was brave, but Hrgovic was sharp and extremely vicious. This was like the science of boxing mixed with brutality. So I'm going to go through the fight and give my analysis, and then I will reflect on the performance. And then we can look at the prospects of Hrgovic moving forward, so we can look at what doors are open after this dominant win. So going into this fight, I had some questions. So the first thing was, where was Hrgovic's trainer? And it was quite apparent that Abel Sanchez was not there. And I thought to myself, will this affect his performance? And how was his camp? So I had some questions with regarding to Hrgovic before the fight began. Now in round one, Dave Allen, he started off with a nice overhand right, and he had a high guard and subtle head movement, and there was some jabs to the body. Now Filip Hrgovic was aggressive, landing some really good right hands, and Hrgovic is just letting his hands go. And what he's doing, he's really letting that right hand go, but every now and then he's ripping that left hook to the body, and that's a really hurtful shot. So at the end of the round, Hrgovic has clearly set a big pace. And my question at the time was, is this too much of a high pace if it goes into the middle or late rounds? Dave, on the other hand, is taking way too much punishment, and he's spending too much time on the ropes. He's also catching Dave at the back of the head, and Dave is having a conversation with his trainer, and those punches are clearly having an impact. So going into round two, and again, Dave ends up on the ropes. He's got the high guard and he's defensively responsible, but there's not enough offense. While Filip Hrgovic, again, is landing some hurtful right hands, and there's no counter right hand, so there's nothing to deter him from throwing that right hand. And Hrgovic is taking a dominant position. He has good jabs, good feints, and he's now starting to punch through the target, so he's so confident right now. So Hrgovic is winning the rounds, is extremely confident, but again, he's setting a very high pace. Now Dave, he needs to establish a jab, he needs to get off the ropes, he needs to maintain his defensive responsibilities, but he needs to give Hrgovic something to think about. So entering round three, and Dave Allen is trying. He's trying to put on some foot pressure, and he's trying to get on the inside, but he's taking too many punches. And Filip Hrgovic, he's landing good jabs, and every now and then he's landing this nice left hook to the body, and it looks like it's hurting Dave Allen, but he's got a strong poker face. And now he's starting to look for the right uppercut. And Hrgovic now is throwing the right hand through the target. Now at the end of the round, Filip Hrgovic accelerates the pace. He's throwing lots of punches. Dave is getting low, and he's trying to throw the counter left hook. The problem is that Hrgovic is timing the left hook, and then he's timing a right hand over the left hook. So every time he tries to throw that left hook, number one, the left hook is missing, and number two, he's getting punished for it. And then after a flurry of punches, the ref intervenes as the corner is about to interject. And you have to say that this was a great performance by Filip Hrgovic. So Filip Hrgovic was aggressive. He was very aggressive. He had a strong jab, some great backhands, and he had this hurtful left hand to the body, which wasn't telegraphed. And he showed the clear ability to finish the job. Filip Hrgovic, he didn't just come to win, but he came to be dominant, and he was dominant. And the absence of Abel Sanchez was not a factor. Unfortunately, the puzzle Dave presented was too easy for Hrgovic to solve. And here's an observation. I've noticed that no one is able to counter Hrgovic's right hand. And that to me illustrates the great accuracy that he has with his backhand. For example, when he fought Dubois has good counterpunching skills, but even he could not create any opportunities with the counter. You know what, if Hrgovic can maintain that type of pace for 12 rounds, he could be competitive or dangerous with anybody. The one weakness is the cuts, but he has the engine. He has a dominant jab, a great backhand, and a friend-friendly style, which is very important. This performance really should open doors. Now, I'm uncertain about who his trainer is, but in this fight, that was not a factor. Hopefully for him, he is still under the guidance of Abel Sanchez. Why do I say that? I say that because I think Abel Sanchez will bring the elite conditioning. He will bring the boxing environment that will enable Filip Hrgovic to be the best version of himself. I think the main thing Filip Hrgovic needs to work on is defense because of the cuts issue. But Hrgovic, with this performance, has put himself in a very strong position. So with regards to Dave Allen, it was a step too far, but he tried, and sometimes that's all we have. And he was gracious and he was thankful, and that's a good thing. And it's important to realize that life is not just about winning inside the ring, it's about winning outside as well. From an outsider looking in, Dave Allen seems to be in a better place, both mentally and spiritually, and that is what is important. We, and when I say we, I'm talking about the British public, we like David Allen, and I think the reason why we like him is because he comes across as an honest person. He has developed, from an outsider looking in, other streams of income, such as his YouTube channel, his boxing commentary, and, we wish him every success. Should he continue to fight? That's a decision only he can make. But think of this, winning in life is more important than winning in the ring. So what's next for Hrgovic? The biggest, probably economic move and cultural move would be fighting Moses Atama. That's a very interesting fight. Now Hrgovic brings stamina under this new training regime, a good jab, a great backhand, confidence, a good chin, and he has experience. Moses, we believe, is very exceptional. The hype is legitimate. However, this fight carries a lot of risk, but also a lot of rewards. Hrgovic will provide the biggest challenge to date for Moses Atama. It will be interesting if Hrgovic approaches this fight with the same confidence that he's approached his other fights. Can Filip Hrgovic handle the southpaw jab? Can he handle the elite footwork? Can he handle the acceleration? Can he handle the speed, etc.? That would be a great fight. So other than Moses Atama, I'm assuming Filip Hrgovic has world title aspirations. Him versus Caballal would be a good fight. Caballal has great boxing intelligence. He's great at making adaptations, and that would be a very compelling fight. And of course, there's the rematch with Dubois. That would be brutal, and that would be explosive. And I wonder how he would approach that fight. How would he approach that rematch? The Joseph Parker fight, if available, would be explosive, but would probably have too much risk. In boxing, of course, fights need to make economic and cultural impact, and money and impact mostly comes hand in hand. Unfortunately, the cuts will probably always be a huge issue, and hopefully this is being addressed in camp with bigger head guards, but more importantly, better defense. Hrgovic is an on-top fighter. He likes to dominate his opposition, and he has massive potential. As long as he stays focused and makes the necessary adjustments, he can go very far. So we did not get the fairy tale ending for Dave Allen that we all hoped for. But it's not just about winning in the ring. It's about winning in life, whether it's relationships with family, having purpose, having health, etc. And it seemed to me, from an outsider looking in, that Dave Allen seems happy. Now Hrgovic showed that in boxing there are levels, and he showed a viciousness. And the next chapter in the book of Hrgovic could be Moses Atama, and that could be a great fight. So that's the end of the video. Now I'm trying to build a digital boxing community. That means I'm interested in your comments, I'm interested in your questions, and I'm interested in your observations. Now if you want to support the channel, simply like and subscribe. And if you want to watch more content, then simply click here or click here. As always, thanks for your time. It is much appreciated.